Hey, hey, another day and it's raining today. Well, it's spitting anyway. I'm on my way to my shift at Bonn University. So I'm actually a simulated patient at Bonn Uni, and that means, because I didn't know what that meant until I actually got this role or this job, it's an acting role. So basically I get a script and a character that I play, and I have some kind of health problem, ailment. And I go in with a medical history of that particular character, and it's quite a substantial medical history. So there's quite a bit to learn and memorize, and then I go into the medical precinct of Bonn University, and I'm in a room, a classroom, a small classroom, with a tutor, a professor, and students who are training to be doctors. And then I act out this particular role, and they need to diagnose what is wrong with me and come up with some solutions, suggestions, medical intervention, and a treatment plan. So I have been doing this now, I think, for about 3 years, part-time, casually, and I absolutely love it. It's a fantastic company to work for because, well, Bonn University is actually a private institute. So it's an amazing institute to work for. I've loved every part of it. It's been amazing. And I feel very blessed to have such a fantastic, fun job working with some really cool people. So I'm on my way to that shift now. Okay, well, I missed that turn off. I was sent a message on Facebook yesterday by one of my Facebook friends, sadly, about a 17-year-old girl on the Gold Coast that had been bullied relentlessly and took her own life because of it, because of the pressures and stresses that she felt being bullied. And I just think it's incredibly sad that it comes to this, where a child feels that there's no out, no way to move past this adversity and these challenges, and that's their only option. I find that devastating, and this is the driving force behind why I have a show called the Resilient Rockstar Show, empowering kids to believe in themselves, to build resilience and self-belief, and to believe that they can overcome adversity, and not only overcome adversity but thrive because of it and turn their lives around. And I do keynotes in high schools, and those keynotes in high schools are on resilience, on social media and internet safety, and also on conflict resolution. If you have just tuned into my YouTube channel, my name is Donna-Leigh Perfect. I'm a solo female van lifer in Australia, and I drive around in my Toyota Hiace Van Halen. And I'm a 3 times published author. I have a children's series called The Adventures of Jessie and Rocky Rockstar. I'm also a keynote speaker on the topics of bullying, domestic violence and resilience. And I'm a children's entertainer and have a show called The Resilient Rockstar Show. I hope you enjoy my videos. And please take a moment just to hit the subscribe button to support me. I believe that these kinds of subjects and skills and life skills need to be a part of the curriculum in Australia. And an incredibly important skill for children to develop and learn, because it seems that there is a real lack of this in this generation of young people that really are struggling because they haven't developed coping mechanisms and resilience. And the way that we develop resilience is through adversity and through overcoming challenges and obstacles in our life and moving past them and learning from that experience. And so if we don't have the opportunity to overcome obstacles and challenges because we are rescued from those constantly, then we don't develop the resilience that we need and the coping mechanisms. And in the real world, life is up and down. In the real world, we will be challenged at some point in our lives, whether that's in the work environment, whether that's in the school environment, whether that's in the community, whether that's in family or friends. We will be challenged. And so we need to develop the skills to overcome those obstacles and those challenges. And it's really important that we allow our children to experience the natural consequences of behavior and actions, because in doing that, that's where they develop those coping mechanisms and resilience. So, and you know, actually feeling the emotion of being disappointed or not doing as well as you would have liked. And so this pushes you to try harder next time. So if we are giving our children participation awards and merits for participating, there's no drive or motivation for them to push themselves beyond that comfort zone, because they're going to get a merit award, they're going to get a participation award, and everyone gets one. So the child that has been training hard and pushing themselves past that comfort zone and wins the race, or it takes away that edge, it takes away competitive edge, but also that celebration of actually the reward of achieving something because you put the work in and you've applied extra effort over and beyond what the norm is. And in doing so, in doing that, you have achieved a better result, a higher result. And you should be rewarded for that. So I believe this is just one of the problems that we're facing, is that children get participation awards for just participating and being there and doing it. When, you know, in my day, you just had to do it. Like I remember when I was a child having to participate in folk dancing, and there was a particular folk dancing that I remember I just, for whatever reason, I just hated, and it was the bunny hop, and I just didn't want to do it, and I dug my feet in and I just refused to do it. Now, considering my childhood and stuff that was going on in my life, it doesn't surprise me that I was probably rebelling on some things. And so anyway, I decided, no way, I'm not doing it. So now, this day and age, there may, in this particular scenario, there may have been a parent who, wrote a letter to the principal or to the teacher, or came in and spoke to them and said, I think if my child doesn't want to participate, they shouldn't be forced to, and it's not good for their mental health to be pushed into something they don't want to do, and all this kind of stuff goes on. Now, when I decided that I didn't want to do this bunny hopping folk dance, I was sent to the principal's office, and the natural consequence of me refusing to do this folk dancing was I actually got the strap. I got the strap. So that's where you put your hand out, and the principal has a leather belt, a leather piece. It's like a piece of leather, a thick piece of leather, and smacks you on the hand with it. And the boys would get the cane, which was even more painful than the strap. You get it on your legs, you'd get it on, you'd get it on your arms, you'd get it on your hands for not doing what you were told to do, or talking in the class, or whatever it might have been. Well, I had to go to the principal's office, and I got the strap for not doing the bunny hop folk dance, because I rebelled and decided that I'm not doing it. And so that was the consequence. Now, next time, I knew what the consequence would be, and I can make a choice. I can make a decision whether I'm going to do the activity and not get the punishment, or not do the activity and know that the outcome of that, the consequence of that, is that I'm going to get punished. And so I can make a choice. And in doing that, I actually develop resilience, because it gives me a little bit of control over the situation. So it's, there will be a downside to this. And so I've learnt something. I've learnt that I have a choice, and I can choose whether I want to take the punishment, or I'm going to just do what I'm told. And the resilience here that's developed is that I didn't die. It was painful, yes, and I'm not condoning violent behavior. I'm not condoning violent punishment whatsoever. I don't agree with it. However, I think we've gone too far the other way, and now we're rescuing children. I'll give you another example. So Johnny was getting ready for school. Johnny's 10, and he was mucking around. He was playing computer games before school, and Mum was really busy and trying to get Johnny organised so that he could get in the car and go to school. Now, in this, Johnny forgot to pack his lunch in his school bag. So Johnny goes to school, and then at morning break, Johnny realises that he hasn't got any food. He forgot his lunchbox. So he goes and tells the teacher, and the teacher rings Mum. And Mum races home from work and gets Johnny's lunchbox and takes it into school. Now, what has Johnny learnt from this experience? Has he developed any resilience? Has he felt the natural consequences of his actions, which is he forgot his lunchbox and he'd be hungry. So that's the natural consequence of him forgetting his lunchbox, is that Johnny's hungry and it doesn't feel good. So tomorrow, Johnny's going to make an extra effort to pack his lunchbox because he doesn't want to feel that again. He doesn't want to feel that hunger. But by Johnny's mum rescuing Johnny from that natural consequence, which was feeling hungry, Johnny doesn't develop any resilience. And this is a major problem moving forward in life, because if Johnny gets bullied as a teenager and he hasn't developed resilience and ways to deal with things, choices that we have, coping mechanisms, then this can be a major issue for Johnny, because he doesn't know how to deal with a bully. He doesn't have the strength and the inner courage and the resilience to actually overcome that obstacle and say, well, you know what? Okay, look, I'm not gonna. It's not a nice feeling being bullied, and trust me, I know I've been bullied. I was bullied relentlessly as a child in the foster care system. It's not a nice thing. It's an awful experience to go through. But you learn a lot through the experience. And if we can teach our children that some of those lessons are incredibly valuable, because we learn resilience, we also learn maybe about compassion and trying to understand why the person that's bullying is bullying. Because hurt people hurt people. So perhaps that child is hurting in some way. Something's going on at home that we don't know about, and they're projecting that pain on someone else. So by trying to understand why that child or that person is acting out the way they are, we can support them and we can help them through those challenges so that they won't project that pain on others. So it's really important moving forward, I believe, in the school system, is if we can support both children. So the child that's bullying and the child that is being bullied, because we have a problem on both sides. We have a problem that needs addressing on both sides. And until we do that, we are not going to be able to get to the bottom of this problem of bullying in schools. We need to address both angles. And I don't like to call children bullies. I don't like to call anyone bullies, because bullying is a behavior, not a person. And we know through the latest research on our brains how we can set new neural pathways in our brain and change our behavior. So we can change bullying behavior also, once we understand why it is that a child or an adult is bullying, why they are behaving that way. And we can get to the core of the problem instead of it being a band-aid effect where we are looking at the victim of the bullying experience and feeling sorry for them, feeling like, we're going to point the finger at the person that was bullying, and we're going to come down hard on that person, and we're not going to learn anything through that process. We need to understand why the child was being bullied, why he was a target, or why she was a target for the bullying behaviour, and we need to understand why the child is bullying. This is my passion, and this is what I am driven to do in schools, primary schools with my Resilient Rockstar show, and keynotes in high schools. So we can make a difference. We really can make a difference. We need to find a nice, healthy balance here. We've gone too far to the right, and I don't agree with what happened in my generation with physical violence, but I do believe there needs to be natural consequences to children's actions, and there needs to be some form of discipline. And we've got to stop these participation awards, because it teaches children nothing about striving and being a better person, being better at whatever it is that they're trying to achieve, whether that's sports, whether that's academia, music and creativity, whatever it is. We need to motivate and encourage children to push beyond their comfort zone to achieve those higher results, if that's what they want. Big story, but I thought I would share that while I've been driving, and I've just arrived, so catch you soon.